Bonjour friends, it's Molly with AllEars and I am here today with a brand new food review. I bet you can tell where we're going. Chefs de France in Epcot. This is of course a sit-down French restaurant inside of the France Pavilion at Epcot. It's one of the most underrated and delicious spots and they've got a fabulous deal right now. But there is so much good food to eat at Epcot. Is it worth interrupting your World Showcase promenade stroll to sit down and eat here? That's what we're gonna find out together. I hope you're ready, I hope you're excited, I hope you're hungry. Let's get in there. Chefs de France is one of several places to eat inside the France Pavilion at Epcot. It is a table service restaurant. The dining plan's not running right now, but when it did, this was a 1-credit table service restaurant. There's also a 2-credit signature, aka fancy restaurant in the back called Monsieur Paul. There is the French bakery, and opening for the 50th anniversary, there's also a creperie. Not to mention all of the different wine shops and kiosks. So France, definitely one of the best pavilions to eat at, but is it worth spending an hour or two and a decent amount of money to come eat here during your busy Epcot day? Let's go in and find out. Taking a look at the menu here at Chefs de France. It is still a little bit of a condensed menu from prior to the closure, but they've got several different appetizers, including a cheese plate, escargot, their French onion soup is fabulous, and they've got a couple of different beef entrees, a salmon fillet, ratatouille, a chicken salad, then a couple of different desserts. They do have a fabulous prix menu right now, which is $56.90, and you get an entree, an appetizer, and a dessert, and a glass of their house wine, either a Cab or a Chardonnay, which that's a very, very good deal, especially if you start adding up some of the prices. Of course, we're in France, so there's a lot of different wine options, sparkling white, rosé, red, and then they also do some different cocktails. It's actually been quite a while since I've dined in Chefs de France on a normal meal. Normally what I like to do is during the Food and Wine Festival, they're not doing it this year, they didn't do it last year, but they do a fabulous breakfast in here. It's an extra ticketed event, but they bring out a bunch of different pastries and cheeses, and they do a really lovely Parisian breakfast in here. It was one of my favorite Food and Wine special events. They haven't brought those back yet, but I'm excited to just eat off the normal menu. Starting off with a couple of beverages. First of all, when I'm in France, I like to drink as the French do, which means a Perrier, you know, trying to be a little fancy. Of course, you can get regular water, but I asked for sparkling, and of course it's Perrier. And then I am doing that 3-course meal, so the server brought me my glass of wine. Again, this is a Cab from the restaurant. This is one of their house wines, but I am, spoiler alert, gonna have beef, so he said I had to have a red wine, which I agree with. I've also got my glass of wine. I'm trying not to drink too much of it. We do have beef coming, but it's French wine. What do you expect? It's a Cab, but it's not super dry. It's got some fruity notes on there. Just a really yummy glass of red. I think that's going to complement the beef perfectly. I'm trying not to drink it, but my appetizers are here, so let's get into that. Here we have the goat cheese salad. I wanted the French onion soup, but it's really hot today, so I thought this yummy salad looked good, and my server said it's fabulous. It's got a little baked goat cheese round on there, and then it has got walnuts, grapes, tomatoes, endives, mixed greens, so he said it's very crisp and refreshing, and I'm excited to dig into that, but that's not all. Because they also brought me a house-made baguette. They make these amazing baguettes with some butter. They make the baguettes from scratch every single day. These are also what are available over at the bakery, which you may know is my favorite quick service restaurant in this park, and I think this is a fabulous way to start a meal. Got a little bit of everything. Yeah. This is so refreshing. That baked goat cheese is amazing. I would like 50 more wedges of baked goat cheese, please. It's got a light crust, but then that creamy, delicious, nutty goat flavor center. You've got these fresh greens, which this produce is so fresh. Love the crunch from not only the green, but the walnuts on there. Then you've got a fresh little burst of sweetness from the grape and the cherry tomato. Now, if it's not super, super hot or you've never been here before, I definitely recommend getting that French onion soup. It's absolutely incredible. But if you are looking for something a little bit lighter, fresher, you want to have a green, but not your run-of-the-mill everyday salad, this is fantastic. I could eat gochujang on anything. Much like Oprah Winfrey, I love bread.
I love bread.
And I love the fact that they just gave me a baguette as my bread at this restaurant. Another fabulous appetizer you can do is they do have a really lovely charcuterie plate, which is similar to the one you can get at Layoff. It was a great shareable, bunch of different cheeses and meats on there, and you can use your bread with that. But I wanted to get on something a little light, a little refreshing. Every now and again I like to eat a vegetable, you know what I mean? And this salad is fabulous, but the bread, so good. My entree is here, and I have gotten the beef bourguignon with linguine. This is a braised beef in a Cabernet sauce, baby onions, carrots, and some pasta. And whenever I hear beef bourguignon, I think of Meryl Streep doing her Julia Child impersonation in Julie versus Julia, is that what that movie is called? And then I think of one of my best friends doing his impersonation of Meryl Streep doing her impersonation, going beef bourguignon. Beef bourguignon. So this is a very traditional French dish, and I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't going to dip bread into the sauce. Look how tender this is. Oh my goodness. Yum. Look at that. That is just falling apart. Yum. One of the best things about this restaurant is if you get in the sunroom, you get this beautiful view of Epcot, and it just started raining, and I gotta say, not mad that I'm in here about to eat beef and drink wine while the rain shower passes through. One of these days I'll learn to take smaller bites, but today is not that day. Okay, this beef is so tender and delicious. The noodles are perfectly cooked with the beef. We gotta talk about this Cabernet sauce. It is absolutely fabulous. You can pick up on that note of the wine, and then the noodles, amazing. It is so, so tender. It is so, so meaty and juicy and delicious. And then you've got your yummy vegetables. I'm gonna get a little onion right here. I love onions. This is classic French cuisine. It's heavy, it's delicious, it's perfectly cooked and seasoned. And as I promised, I'm going to dip this bread into this yummy Cabernet sauce. I would put this sauce on anything. This is definitely a heavy meal. It's definitely big enough to share between two people. It's about $30 if you just get the entree, which is not bad for a portion of this size. You're getting a bunch of beef, you're getting a bunch of pasta, a bunch of this sauce. Absolutely delicious. This is classic French cuisine, and it's executed wonderfully. So flavorful and delicious. And for course number 3, I've got the vanilla creme brulee here. This is their specialty dessert. My server said, no question, you have to get the creme brulee. So who am I to argue with that? Look at this. All right, are you ready? Oh yeah, I gotta break up that caramelized top, get that delicious custard in there. Yum. That is so rich and luxurious tasting. It's got this delicious creamy vanilla custard. And then the caramelized top brings a nice little elegant crunch to the whole thing. But it's super simple. It's not overdone. It's not over complicated. Now, what I will say, as fabulous as this is, if you are a creme brulee person, this one is to die for. You will absolutely love it. I personally, my favorite dessert in France is either ice cream from the ice cream shop or that strawberry tart from the bakery back there. If you're not doing the 3-course meal, I would recommend grabbing one of those. However, you are doing the 3-course meal, which is such a great deal. This is absolutely fabulous. Well, I had a fabulous meal at Chefs de France. Everything was cooked perfectly. It's that delicious classic French cuisine, and I really do think that 3-course meal plus a glass of wine for about $56 is such a good deal if you're gonna eat that much. Now, for some people, spending $56 on a sit-down meal isn't gonna be worth it, and they'd rather spend that money walking around and enjoying the Food and Wine Festival or enjoying some quicker things throughout the park, and I don't blame you. That's one of my favorite things to do at Epcot as well. Or maybe French cuisine isn't your style and you'd rather hit somewhere like Via Napoli or one of the other restaurants in World Showcase. However, if you do appreciate French cuisine, if you are looking for a nice sit-down meal, a nice break, if you're a little bit of a foodie, then I highly recommend Chefs de France. I think it is constantly such a good restaurant. The food is always excellent. The service is excellent. So it's classic French flavors that you're not going to get a lot of other places. So for me, definitely a win and one you could consider putting on your Epcot Eats list. Have you eaten here? What restaurant do you want to see reviewed next? Let us know down in the comments. In the meantime, friends, make sure to rate, review, subscribe to our channel, follow us on social media at AllEars.net. And until next time, y'all, I'm Molly, and it's been Très Magnifique. I can't speak other languages, but I try.
Want to see more of my videos? Click over here. Want to subscribe? You can do that right here. And also, ring that notification bell to make sure you get instantly notified anytime we post a new video. Thanks for following. See you real soon.